Okay, hello everyone, hello gamers, hello developers. We are here in Coffee and Games. As we do every year, this is the 2025 event. So we had a jam of 1 week, as you may know, and now we have some guests to come speak with us. And now we have, do you want to present yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Wilson Moreira. I'm a senior CRM specialist at Miniclip. I've been at the company for 5 years, working mostly in 8-Ball Pool from the monetization and live ops perspective.
Very interesting. Well, I'm Pedro Tavares, and we are here with Game Dev Technic. We are a student group. We develop games. We try and also have these events to also network with people from the industry. I have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind, before we get to the games.
Sure.
So you said you're a marketing specialist at Miniclip.
CRM specialist.
CRM specialist.
Yes.
Sorry, not marketing. Yes, monetization. So what exactly is your day-to-day work? What do you do on a regular basis?
Okay, so like I mentioned, I work mostly in 8-Ball Pool. So it's a live game that's been around for over 10 years now. We're actually going to be 15 in June next year. So it's not as much about creating games because the games are already created. We just want to keep them alive. So my day-to-day is mostly planning upcoming events, planning upcoming sales, looking at the economy of the game, basically analyzing engagement and monetization trends. And as you do, you start to realize that there may be some things that you can optimize, and then you just plan how to optimize them. So that's always the goal with our live ops events and sales.
So as a follow-up, I'm not sure how much experience or how much insight you can give us in a more indie perspective, but since we also have our own internal projects that we launch and try to monetize, how would you go about pricing an indie game? Do you think it should be free and only when you have more of a name for yourself you should
Mhm.
monetize it? Do you think it should be free but with microtransactions, or pay what you want? How would you go about this decision making?
I think it depends on the type of game you want to make and the type of support you want to give it. For as an example, if you don't want to continuously support the game you launch and you just want to put it out there and move on to the next project, it should just be what we would call a premium game where you pay for it once and that's it. If you have a smaller team but you can actually give some support to the game, then you can choose this free-to-play approach where you will just put the game out there and you just have constant release cycles to try to monetize it. So resources would be the number one thing.
No, yeah, that seems interesting. So regarding basically the same topic, but
Mhm.
when we launch a game,
Yes.
even though it might have taken us 2 years or even 3 years, and since we're all students, at least most of us, and we don't have that much time to invest into a project, how would you compete with the big players? Do you go for a premium price that's just extremely low, even if you think the game should be priced a bit
Mhm.
higher? Do you just go for do you just lowball everyone? Do you try and maybe match the other indie games that are a bit bigger?
Yeah, it's going to depend on how much content you can offer in
Mhm.
your game. So usually, the way that you would go is anything above $49.99. You're talking about AAA.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
AA, you could price it starting from normally $19.99 to a more or less $39.99. And indies, they would be generally lower than $99.99 unless the production value is already quite up there, or you already, for instance, you're a indie developer with some following already, in which case you might be able to price it higher because you already built a
Okay.
name for yourself. If it's a smaller, quicker game, I would always price it below $19.99.
That seems fair. I don't think I have many more questions. So maybe we should go ahead and get into our first game. So again, these were all developed
Yep.
in the last week, and most of them were in Godot. This one's in Godot. We had some in Unity, some in Unreal, but I guess let's get into it. I'm also going in blind, so
Okay.
I mean I
Yeah.
can see the computer. I'll give you the the gameplay. You wanna go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Can I?
Feel free. Yeah. Make yourself. So I guess this one's I sit in a desolate room.
So you also don't know what it is about.
No, I mean I think it's
Created asset doesn't seem to be paid.
no. This one I actually saw a bit of the development. Excuse me, so we just go back. No, this one I think I saw a bit of the development. The backgrounds were made with just stock photos. This
Okay.
one, I think, and then they added the effects. But yeah, I don't think they were AI assisted. So the other ones, I Apparently there isn't much to be found on the ocean bed other than that. So yeah, it's a submarine, I guess.
Yep.
Small documented.
Super disappointing. We get the content. The context. So this is the dorms, masculine dorms. I guess we can't go there yet. Or here. So we go to the cafeteria.
Is that Alan? It is Alan.
Yeah.
It scared me to creep up on people like that. No, sorry, I'm just exhausted from the submarine life. Again?
Mas está a morrer e não sei porquê.
Okay.
Afinal, não está assim 2 segundos.
Weird. E até dá jeito porque pronto, precisamos de pessoas para fazer a arte, pessoas para fazer
Claro.
a programação. Muitas pessoas todas têm interesse em. Mas a grande maioria são estudantes universitários e aliás para entrar precisas de ser. Mas por isso também há alguns problemas com. Hey, we're back. Okay, I think we just played this a little more. Yeah, Alan is a mechanic, it seems. What are the option tanks first? Some giant water creature, so there's some dialogue options, but for now it's been only one. Don't worry, you just need to hold on for one more day. Yes, we're going back to base tomorrow. Just feel the deep sea, but no, they said it would be good to get some exposure. Once I'm out of sea, I'll never touch a boat again. Oh, everything went dark. Oh, because yeah, the theme of the jam is blackout.
Okay.
And
so
then we
we're going
had
to fix it.
we voted on the theme. There was like everyone who joined the jam could suggest a theme, but we selected like 5 of them and everyone voted.
Okay.
Of course, blackout won. This started like 3 days after the blackout, so
It makes sense.
it did. You know, it won by a landslide. And then we had like some mechanical modifiers, which were just every team had to pick at least one.
Okay.
This team, if I'm not wrong, picked like Flash games. So
Okay.
Flash game nostalgia. It was we had like Flash games nostalgia, RNG, metamorphic characters, stuff like that. Just to try and like give a bit more variety besides being only blackout. And I know this one picked Flash games nostalgia, so
I
it
mean,
really went for that. There's a monster.
It's quite fitting because that's how Miniclip started, right?
Yeah. I mean, I remember me and my cousin. I don't know if this is leaking his password, but he liked Miniclip so much, he made it his password. It was like Miniclip123 because every day we played.
No one knows who your cousin is. We don't have his email address. It
Yeah.
should be fine.
So hopefully it's fine. But we were big fans. We were very big fans.
Am I
Is
meant?
this-
Okay, that was good.
That's
That
okay.
was good.
that was.
I
smart,
imagine that
okay.
if we were playing with noise,
No, yeah, we can play with audio sadly, but I would have probably jumped. To be fair, I would have jumped. Okay, I think we'll leave that there.
Oh,
Maybe they didn't finish. I'm
Okay.
not sure, so I think we should leave it at that and go on to the next one. They were tricky though. They were tricky with that jump scare.
yeah,
I guess now we have Blackout. I haven't.
quite on brand.
Yeah, quite on brand. I don't know if we have a control scheme, but let's hope they put some tutorial in here because
Yeah, the last one was I was thinking of Firewatch.
Firewatch really.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see it.
narrative-driven,
Yeah.
short game,
Flashlight constantly. I mean,
less
I
monsters.
yeah, they didn't have monsters, but I haven't played Firewatch. I
It's
know.
really good.
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
A couple of hours. Again, like it's actually one of those indie games that's correctly priced. I think
Mhm.
it's at
No, yeah, yeah.
$4.99, and it's just a great narrative all around. I am stuck.
I really like the graphics. I love when.
They look really nice.
Let's restart the game. I like when I've done this a couple of times, but I really like the look of a 3D model with like a pixelated filter over it. When it's done right, I feel like it looks amazing. But yeah, regarding Firewatch, I haven't played it. I heard a lot of good things about it. The only bad things I heard were people who had a bit less attention span.
Yeah.
And were like, no, this is so slow and nothing happens.
Yeah, you have to be into it for the story.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful game too.
Yeah,
So
short as well.
I guess if you press E, you can. Oh,
Huh?
ooh. Assign drawing.
Yeah.
With some
Did-
numbers on the back.
Now this is more like old Resident Evil game.
True, very much so. Okay, interesting. There's a man looking at the tree.
Oh,
Yeah, I
E
guess-
again. Okay, so I'm going to assume E is interaction. I need the key.
for this. Kind of like an escape room, it seems.
Can't we leave the room?
Maybe, but I was just the vibes. Don't forget, you can grab stuff with your hands. Hold space. I like the
Okay, that's
tutorial
nice.
being. I like the tutorial being built into the gameplay itself.
I guess I cannot grab this one.
It seems that something is supposed to fit in here.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the thing from the drawing. There's a man. Maybe if you grab like a little man figure and you put it there.
maybe. Wait, okay.
Because it's the same tree, I think. So maybe if you find a little toy.
Does look like that. Let's see if we can leave the room. Is it in any other room? No,
yeah.
no, it should be.
So yeah, it is kind of like an escape room. So that one needs a key. Yeah, maybe in the box you can grab it and.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. This is
Uh,
really nice. What can we do with that? Oh,
no.
can clip that into the other thing. Maybe behind it. Maybe if you just go behind it.
You think something could be up? Yeah, can you? No, you cannot climb onto it. So
I guess not. Maybe behind the box you lived. There was like a sign there, the red sign on the wall. Yeah.
No, there's nothing. But there's something here
Oh yeah, that is
next to the bed. Oh, the
okay,
key.
the key for the drawer.
Oh, it
No.
immediately opened.
Nothing can ever leave this place, can it? Oh, it's the little guy.
So I can grab it, and I should put
Oh.
it here, right?
Hopefully, if you. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now what? Do we need anything else for the? Maybe the sun. So it has a crossed out 5 or what? I don't think that's a 5. That's 6. Because
Yeah.
it's 5 and 1, right?
Might just be
Hmm.
the prison we're counting.
Maybe with the box or something. I don't know. Yeah, it might just be the prison. Not sure.
Oh wait, no, nothing happened there.
Guess try and do something with the box we picked up before.
I'm assuming that nothing happened.
Can you put that like somewhere? Because why did we move that? Why didn't we need to move that? I don't know.
Feels like something could fit there, but
yeah,
I'm imagining that ain't it.
maybe
Not
they
yet,
didn't.
at least.
Maybe they didn't finish it, but I do like the style and
Yeah, it's really nice.
I wish we could play it with sound. Because if the sound was also immersive, I'd really like the style of this game. Yeah.
Okay, this is the same thing. Nothing changed.
And the game, I like the integrated tutorial. I feel like it fits really well.
Yeah,
Well, let's say we solved that puzzle then.
we did one.
We did one.
One of how many? We don't know.
Maybe
so
one
should
day.
we go to another one?
Yeah, we'll go to another one. This one is Better Not Call Bob. Quite the lengthy name, or I mean, feels like it's a reference to a certain show.
Does feel like it. Even the character.
Yeah, I feel like it's a twist. Does the options work? No, I guess not. Okay. Does it? Okay. Oh, another narrative game. So probably Flash games.
Yeah,
nostalgic.
this one also looks really good. I like the characters.
Ooh, and the text like animated is a nice touch. Just one more beer, please. Hey Marge, you still here at this very interesting hour? You beautiful source of confusion. Don't go away. Let's have some fun tonight. Early. Bob is interesting.
And between the alcohol and the references, I guess it's not PG-13 anymore.
Two shiny olives floating in the martini. Okay.
Classy, not like my job.
Concrete moist. Oh my god. Is this streamable? Is this when they're what the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we keep playing this game? I don't know if let's hope the team did something.
Someone put a disclaimer on the stream.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why they put more attention into the art.
Marge. That hot muscly guy who looks exactly like Henry Cavill again.
Don't
Can
do
also
that.
paint cool little figurines. Good on you, Bob. She's allergic to concrete moisture. Oh my god. I guess he's not that charismatic.
He does not have enough reeds.
Was he suddenly is home, I guess. He got blackout drunk. That's
That's clever.
yeah. For spinning Sydney's okay. Sure. It's not in his bedroom. Wonder if it's gonna turn into like a horror game. It's definitely not mine. Okay. I like the text animation. It's like the pacing is really
I like
well.
the humor too.
Yeah.
Like,
Back to that in a sec.
he feels like the type of guy that would not mind being a murder dungeon, but that might.
Yeah, maybe not.
What? Okay, now we.
Interactive.
I'm trying. Oh, okay.
Oh. What the hell?
Top
happened
news.
there?
Should we click here?
I don't know. Guess the guy hurt his finger.
Yep.
That's the news.
So how would you go back?
I have no clue. Maybe yes.
No, I try. Space,
Hmm.
no E.
This is the wonder of a jam game: is when you get stuck at "man hurt his finger" daily news and you don't know how to get out.
This is the ending screen.
Is this the ending screen? I mean, I do want to showcase more of the game, but well, I mean, no button works. Yeah.
So not that different from
We could try
regular
and-
game development.
Oh, we can try and restart. Hold on, I close out.
You need to re-download this was the ones.
Oh, I can't re-download right now. Oh, hold on.
So you can skip.
Let me go to downloads, coffee and games.
No, this is not a executive. I uploaded the wrong.
Oh, this is your game.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay. Okay. So
We-
let's
we-
like skip
yeah.
through the space bar work now. Okay.
And hopefully we can click something else in that
Yeah.
room.
Okay.
No,
So this
yeah,
is what you
yeah,
clicked,
click
right?
there. Doesn't feel like anything else is clickable though.
Are we able to interact with anything else?
We can. Oh wait, was
Like
it
like
automatic?
here. I don't know. Guess this is the game.
Daily news, man.
Well-
Broke finger.
We're sorry, Affogato team. Well,
It was.
that was interesting. I mean,
Good
I
art.
think that we can go on to another one. We have like 20 more minutes, surely.
I believe 15.
15?
A while back, at least.
Maybe 15. Maybe we'll have an intermission. Can I have a controller? 2 controllers.
I have a controller.
So we can play this next game. Or do you want, which one do you want? Roach's Gamble or Duskfall? What?
Oh, right.
Duskfall is my game. I'll
Oh,
disclose. I'll
okay,
have
let's
it-
go Duskfall.
Okay. Just before I get too biased. I'll just
If we're stuck on the controls, you can help.
yeah, exactly. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Portanto, tinha deixado na tote, meti na mochila.
Thank you. Is there a USB port on that side?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Or
very
at
nice.
least it looks like it.
So yeah, this one's mine. I'll try not to be biased. You can be honest. Does Easer controller like? Can you try moving?
This one is doing nothing at the moment.
Let's see here. Can you move? This controller is controlling both. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
we'll
think this one
play,
is doing anything.
Hold on. We'll play with keyboard then. Alright, so we can have a tutorial here. So you can play on WASD.
Okay.
You'll be player 1, I'll be player 2. Right, so spacebar you attack. Q and E is to interact with lights. So E is your own light, Q is the torches.
Okay.
And W you do a little dodge dash.
Sounds good.
So we can have a little before we start fighting. The objective is just to kill each other. So if you press E, you turn on your light.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And if you-
And space is the attack.
space is the attack, and on Q you can turn off the environment torches. Yeah, turn them on or off.
Got it.
And now I guess we just try and kill each other. It's my yeah okay. So on control I attack. Yeah.
I'm at a disadvantage on this one.
We'll go again. We'll go
Have you ever
again.
heard of? This is a very old game. Have you ever heard of Marshmallow the Wolves?
No, I have not. Is
Like-
this
Like the 90s MS-DOS game does remind me of this type of battle quite a bit. Obviously, this one looks better.
You're fighting against the developer. I feel like this is not fair. I play tested this way too much. I'll turn off this light to make it interesting.
Hmm.
But so what is that game about? Marshmallow.
So it's also a 1v1, basically dueling game.
Mhm.
But you have platforms, lava at the bottom. What happened?
You
I
lost,
died.
yeah.
Lava at the bottom. So if you fall, you die.
Mhm.
Similar to what was it? What was the
Yeah, I
Smash Bros.
Oh, Smash Bros.
Similar to Smash Bros. And then you also have power-ups you can pick up.
All right.
It's a really fun game. I used to play that like non-stop when I was in elementary school, I guess.
Okay.
Ah,
This time was me. Yeah. So I worked on the art for this game, and I worked on the art and programming. We had a team of 5 too. I was really satisfied with how visually it came out. We were really inspired by Nidhogg, not so much the Marshmallow.
yeah, I assume. Don't worry.
Yeah. But so when did that game come out?
I don't. Yeah, early 90s. It was an MS-DOS game. It was fun. It ran on the school library computer. That was why.
Okay, yeah, I can see. This is really unfair.
No, it's fine.
I just
So when you attack, you get stuck in the animation. Maybe it would be cool if you had like a button you could press to recover more quickly.
I guess you can dash if you press W. I don't know if.
But it doesn't
yeah.
work when you're
when you,
when you
because-
attack, right?
Yeah. It was more so to have a punishable like a period you can be punished if you miss
Yeah.
your lunge. So this one was based on the mechanical modifier of you only live once, and a bit of Flash games. You know, can you? I don't know if you can tell which Flash game like publisher did like we get inspired by visually.
Which,
You might know it.
which one? Sorry.
Nitrom. You know Nitrom?
No.
Really, like Bad Ice Cream. They made Cupid Duel. It was like a game of 2 Cupids fighting each other. They make like pixel art games really popular. Maybe it's more our generation than yours.
It might be.
But they had a lot of
Ah.
games on Friv too. But yeah, I really like their games. And they're still developing. But now with the death of Flash, they're still porting it over to HTML. You're hiding in the shadows, and I don't appreciate it.
The thing is, I also don't know where I am.
Yeah, I mean, you can use your if you get really lost, just press E to
Yeah.
don't forget to. We were trying to play more with the mechanics of darkness, but you go.
Yeah. This is the strategy. So you're basically gambling. Will I hit him?
Ah, crap. Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty
Well,
fun.
yeah, that was also our game. I'll just leave this one open. We won't play this yet, but just so we don't have the
Yeah,
file
the-
system. But yeah, so I guess those were the games.
Yeah.
I don't know what you thought overall. Have you participated in many game jams? Do you tend to like do that still, or?
No. Usually I participate in hackathons at Miniclip.
Oh, okay.
But outside so we do it once a year, but outside the company, not often. Ours are usually 2-day hackathons, and you can do what you want. You can build a game from
Okay.
scratch. You can just be creating features for existing games.
All right.
And obviously, I go usually from a product management perspective
Alright.
because that's a minha praia, as we would say.
Yeah. So yeah, you have had the pressure, the time pressure,
Yeah.
quite
yeah.
a lot.
Yes.
So what in those hackathons as a product manager, what do you do exactly? Do you like plan out things?
Yeah, it's basically planning out things. Recently, we were doing like an internal game. Just my team was doing one inspired in Balatro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we, for instance, most of the day there was just like planning what the bosses would be, planning what the perks
Okay.
would be, and so on. And then, of course, the
Oh.
developers are coding the whole
Yeah.
thing.
So it also seems to involve a lot of the game design part,
Yes.
even if you don't get to implement it all.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that is fun. We usually, I feel like we get more stuck on the developing
Yes.
more so than designing a bigger concept, even if we don't ship it all. But of course, we always also have the jams where we design this whole huge idea we're really passionate about, and this is a 48-hour jam.
Yeah.
I guess we'll do something. And
You'll do what you can.
yeah.
But it's for us, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a universal experience at this point. Well, I guess is there anything else you'd like to talk about? You find interesting at your job, or just overall any place you'd like to say to the people watching at home too?
Well, I really didn't prepare for this question.
Well, we're both in the same boat here.
Yeah, I can see that.
So is there is that everything? I don't know. Have you anything you want to say? Anything you want to talk about to the students? I mean, we have a lot of people at home. We also have like a marketing team, so it's if you want to give them advice on, they don't necessarily decide what the projects will cost or whatever, but they are responsible through like advertising, creating posters,
Okay.
events. They do tend to help out on that. So I guess, is there any tips you'd like to give them on these people starting out at this section of the industry?
Yeah. So marketing is in mobile games. It's usually quite subdivided. So you have your user acquisition teams. You have your social media teams. You can consider monetization and product marketing as part of marketing. That's kind of debatable. I actually do not have a marketing background. As an example, I studied psychology.
Oh, psychology.
Yeah, consumer psychology. So that's how I ended up
And
breaking
then
into the industry.
you branched into games because of...
I've always been a gamer since I was a kid.
Okay.
It's something that I wanted to work on, but it was kind of serendipitous. Basically, I started working in advertising for like 3-4 years. And from there, I got an offer to move to the marketing side of a online casino called Omnia Casino, because I was doing a PhD in digital media at the time that I eventually dropped out of because I started a new job. And yeah, from there, from the casino experience, it was easier to break into games. So actually, 2 colleagues of mine at that company, they had come from Miniclip, which at the time I didn't know was still around. It was a funny story because we don't often divulge that we are doing mobile games.
Yeah, even I was a bit surprised some time ago when someone was like, "Well, Miniclip is still doing stuff."
Yeah, we're going strong for after 20 plus years.
Very happy to
We're still growing, but we're not as well known. Even though like a lot of popular games belong to our group now.
Yeah,
For
I mean,
instance,
8-Ball Pool was
Subway Surfers as well, which is always on the top downloads mobile games, iOS and Android and so on. But yeah, from the casino, I ended up applying to Miniclip because that's the type of company I'd like to work for, and I've been there for 5 years. But basically, what I was going with this is when you don't have a huge UA budget, which is what you generally have at these companies, it's good just to like try to put the game out there, start to create a following, even if it's a project that you are going to keep supporting, like I mentioned, not necessarily a free-to-play thing, but like a passion project that you'd eventually like to release. Just keep posting builds online, keep getting like a community feedback and improving. And that would be what I would try to do if I had no marketing budget whatsoever.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
We'll hope they'll take notes. Hopefully.
I mean, it's a very
yeah.
Well, my specialty is live games, so launching is actually something that I've never been involved in. And so I worked in Apple Pool, I worked in Militia, I worked in Agario as well for a couple of years, and in Soccer Stars. But all those were live already when I joined Miniclip. And when I'm helping out on new games, I'm usually responsible for basically helping out on designing early monetization and early economy, and not so much on the launch strategy of the game, because that falls under our user acquisition team.
I feel like live games tend to be a bit daunting. I mean, even more so for indie groups, right? Since it's quite a commitment.
Yes.
When do you, I assume it's not you who decides that, but when do you decide to pull the plug on a live game?
So usually we have some key metrics. So at the beginning, the key metrics we look for, it's mostly retention and user acquisition costs.
Okay.
So you see if you have a good CPI, which is basically cost per installs, and you see how sticky your game is, how do the engagement metrics look. So at the beginning, that is the key thing that you want to look for. And then if you see that your game is engaging, then that's when you start to see, okay, how does this monetize? And then you start looking at some metrics, like you can be looking at ROAS, which would be your return on ad spend, which you can, for instance, evaluate across several, let's say, periods, right? So you'd be looking at something called day 7 ROAS, day 30 ROAS, day 90, and so on. And this is basically how much of the investment that you do on user acquisition you are recouping from those players that now installed the game. So that is the one of the main key ones at the beginning, because nowadays, especially after you had the IDs for advertising being discontinued for Google and Apple for the most part, that made targeted UA much more difficult, which basically increased our cost per thousand impressions and our costs per installs a lot. So you want to have return on your UA investment, because that's the way you would be growing these games. It's really difficult to break into the mobile scene now without UA just doing organics, right?
Yeah.
Once the game has been live for a few years, obviously that's not so much what you're looking into. You're looking into the profitability of the game. So, and then it's really easy, right? If you have a specific team working on this game, and this game is no longer covering the cost of that team, that can be when you kill the plug. And it's not that there are several ways of killing the plug. You could just kill the whole game. That's not what we usually do. Or you can just sunset it, where you stop creating new content for it. The content you have, you can even put it on rotation, so it's just there forever. And then you can keep the game as long as basically what it's generating is enough to cover the server costs.
All right.
But yeah, it's always a very pragmatic analysis.
All right. Very technical stuff. I feel like that was very insightful too. I'm a bit overwhelmed with terms, but I'm sure a lot of people will learn a lot from that you said, so thank you.
Yeah, if you want to get into games marketing, these are terms that eventually you will definitely get to know. And another thing that I could also say to anyone that would like to get into the industry is to learn this type of terms, which is really helpful in job interviews, especially when you're a junior level and the hiring managers are not expecting you to know this type of things, is to listen to industry podcasts. Like Deconstructor of Fun is amazing.
Deconstructor of Fun?
Deconstructor of Fun, yes. And there are 2.5 Gamers as another example. These are all mobile games focused. So depending on what you would like to do, they might not be for you, but you learn a lot.
Okay, that's really interesting. I guess before we finish up, I'd have one last question regarding a bit of a controversial topic, that's microtransactions. How do you balance the income that it generates with, I guess, the underlying image it gives? So a lot of times people get really turned off by a game and they're like, oh, this has too many, they're so greedy.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, but this really helps the game stay alive, and this is what even if it's a premium game, this is what keeps it floating. How do you balance that return on, I guess, the image?
In a way, we at Miniclip, we're lucky that we mostly focus on mobile games. It's not just mobile games. We have some Steam games and console games now, but for our core business is on mobile. And on mobile, users in general, they're more forgiving towards microtransactions because they're just used to it. The assumption is if you're playing a mobile game, it's going to have microtransactions. Then what we really would be trying to do is to ensure that microtransactions are not there as a gatekeeper, they're there as a shortcut.
All right.
Whatever you want, and again, this is a strategy. You might actually choose to not go this route because, for instance, depending on the genre of game you are creating, the willingness of your audience to spend would shift. For instance, more what we would be calling core games. So you basically have casual, mid-core, hardcore. So imagine a spectrum. The more towards hardcore you go, the more your users are usually willing to spend. So you're not relying on volume, you're relying on whiles.
Okay.
And in that case, your average revenue per daily active user, ARPDAU, is usually high, and they're way less sensitive to how much you are monetizing and how you are pricing. If you go towards the more casual scene, then you either monetize by making everything a shortcut, so you can always just get the items that you want. You can always progress for free, but if you want to get there quickly, you pay. Or you, as another example, you could even choose to rely less on microtransactions, rely more on advertising, because that is also a possibility. And then you should know what type of revenue split you're looking for. Again, that depends on your type of game. Okay. You would not be monetizing with advertising on a hardcore game. But it depends on the audience, and you can also just A/B test and tweak when you're launching a game, because at the beginning you don't know how much your users are going to value this specific item, how much they are going to progress from X to Y and so on, and then you're just A/B testing and finding the right price for everything.
Again, very insightful. Thank you very much. And I think that we'll be wrapping up this section. So thank you so much for coming. I feel like we really learned a lot, and I hope you enjoyed playing some of our silly little games.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. We'll have a short intermission now, correct? We'll see you back in a bit, everyone.
Vai passar ali no chão.
So hello again. We are back from the short intermission, and now we are joined by Fabio and João. Do you want to give a little presentation first, Fabio?
Yeah, so I'm Fabio. Hello. I'm a developer relations engineer at Heroic Labs, and I also work as a head of partnership at APVP, which is Associação Produtores de Jogos Portugueses.
Okay, so I'm João Santos. I'm a senior game designer at Funcom, and that's basically it. Been at Funcom ZPX. I've been at ZPX for 10 years. Then Funcom since the acquisition, which is like 6-7 years ago already. Working on Dune mostly for the past 5 years.
Mhm.
Been a long project. That's
Yeah.
basically it.
Okay, very interesting. So as you might have already seen, this is an event. You've been here last year, but it's our coffee and jam. We do it internally with our community members. It was 1 week, and we made a couple of games. We'll get to playing them in a little bit, but first I'd like to ask some questions. I'll start out with you, Fabio. So what exactly do you do at APVP?
Good question. At APVP, I work most on industry internationalization, which is to bring the video games Portuguese industry out there, so other countries know that Portugal exists, not only as a country but as a video game producer. We make a lot of events in Spain, and now we've started to go to Gamescom in Cologne, and we also have done some in GDC in San Francisco, and
Okay.
that's most of my work at APVP.
And how do you feel the public view of Portuguese games has grown over the years? Do you feel like we were more well known before, or the industry here was more well known before? Is it getting better? What's the
Yeah,
situation?
from the last couple of years, especially. So APVP was founded in 2020, 2021. Not only as a need, because the industry only at that point was mature enough that it needed an association to represent it, but also in the last couple of years we have seen an increase in the number of studios that wanted to come to Portugal and have a studio here. So you have 2010 or 2028 Miniclip appeared, and 2019 was Funcom, I believe.
Around that time.
Around that, I think 2019. So, and then we had Saber in Porto as well. And now we have last year it was the Fun Plus studio here in Lisbon. So you started to see some growth on not only in studios appearing here, but also big AAA studios want to.
Yeah.
You have talent here. We need to open a
Okay.
studio here.
So, João, Funcom was not originally based in Portugal, or what you were talking about with the acquisition?
Yes. So, because Funcom is Norwegian, it's a Norwegian
Okay.
company. In Lisbon, we had ZPX, we did like outsourcing. We also did some internal projects, so those never went anywhere. Then we started doing outsourcing for Funcom, and then we were acquired by Funcom around again, like 2019. I think it was actually a bit early, maybe 2018 around that time, because we were working with them before the acquisition, so it's a bit blurry. So yeah, that's the thing. Like they're a Norwegian company. They had studios elsewhere already by the time. Then they eventually acquired us in around 2018. Because we did outsourcing for Conan Exiles at the time, and then around that time is when they acquired us. But yes, Funcom is a global company because again, that studio Oslo. Then there's us in Lisbon. There's another development studio in the US, and there's another on Sweden, which is the Outsides, which did Metal Helsing. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And there's also like a studio in Bucharest, which does mostly QA, and there's
All right.
plus all the remotes, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something.
Okay.
So it's a big studio.
So, was it very disorienting being this acquisition
Mhm.
and going from, I'm not sure how big the studio was before, but
Mhm.
being acquired by Funcom, was it very disorienting to go from one scale to a completely different worldwide, I guess,
So
scale?
not really, because because there's the points there. Because at times actually again, like nothing really changed. The company here was still the company here. We're just okay now. Funcom is paying us our salaries
Okay.
essentially.
Sure.
What when the Tencent acquisition is when things grow up,
Okay.
and that's is the part that's more disorienting, especially because it happened right before the pandemic. So we grew a lot during the pandemic, and that was a bit more disorienting thing. And then because we also had the threat of the pandemic and working in a global project, because like Dune is huge, like like Dune had like around 500 people working on it.
Yeah.
And that's not that big in terms of games, but yes, for us, because like I joined the company, we're like 5 people. So now we're working like 500 people across the entire world. So it is a very different experience, yes.
And do you feel, this might be a bit complicated, do you feel you lost a bit of your individuality or influence on the game itself, transferring from a team of 5 to 500? Do you feel like it doesn't give the same kind of satisfaction?
That is also a complicated question, but not necessarily because that's the thing, right? Yes, but probably not necessarily by the reasons you think, right? Because I look at the game, people are playing the game right now on debate and stuff like that, and I can see my work there, like I see my contributions there, but I also see the things I wasn't allowed to do, if that makes sense. So yes, at some point, and especially like there's points where like where people should look, we don't care anymore, this needs to get done. So yeah, and you can feel like you're not heard and stuff like that. And this is not just me. This is because it's a really big structure, and there's a point where you just go, look, we know it sucks to do it anyway. So yes, that ends up happening because the project is too big, it's too dispersed. Like it's not even that people don't want to do that; it's that sometimes there just isn't the bandwidth to do it.
Okay.
And yes, and again, that's the thing, right? And then there's the entire chain. So like there's that chain of communication. So sometimes you can contribute, but your contribution is going to get lost in the chain. So
All right.
it's just a consequence of the project being so big, of the team being so big, right?
Okay.
So, but like at the local level, I can still have that voice. I can still do all of that. But yes, it depends. It's not yes, no, but yes, it depends. Obviously, a small team, if you're like a really small team, like yeah, you know everyone. Like I don't know half the people even work in Lisbon anymore.
Okay.
Especially because some people like are hybrid and don't only go to everyone. Some people are fully remote, so I don't even know who they are. So like,
Okay.
yeah, it's difficult because again, like it's a very big team, it's a very big project. So yes, you will end up losing that sense of contribution, but it's not zero. Like you can still feel like you have that.
And there is way more,
Mm.
I guess, way more people seeing what you have done. So we'll get back to Dune as I have a lot of questions regarding that. But going back to you, Fabio, how is your team size, or how is your, I guess, in the same vein, your individuality, your how hands-on are you in each project?
I mean, my company is different because I don't work at a game studio. I work at a company that provides services for other game studios, and we are kind of a startup mentality company. So everything is very flat, and you do a bit of everything. We are around 25 people. I have like 100. I don't remember, but a lot of clients. So it's very hands-on in terms of there's a lot to do, and we do a lot of different things, and we have more freedom to do what we want in that regard. But we also are a client-first company, so we have our planned things that we want to do, but if a client comes, we need this feature, that now is the priority, and that will be done first before anything else.
Okay, so I have another question that might be a bit complicated, but regarding studios in Portugal, a Portuguese studio based here, do you feel that it's, at least right now, better for this ecosystem to have a Portuguese studio spring up and be acquired by some other international studio? Or do you feel that there needs to be some kind of, I wouldn't say protection, but do you feel like it's more valuable to the Portuguese game industry to have Portuguese studios here, besides only the massive companies starting to seep into the country?
It depends, and then I also want to hear João's take on this because I think it's really interesting. It depends on what you are trying to achieve, because in the PvP view, we really want just to have what we call a flagship title, you know, like an Assassin's Creed that was created in Portugal type
Yeah.
thing. So something that you can go international and oh, you are from Portugal, oh, you made this game, you know, a game that would represent this. And this can be done even with acquisition, as long as everything is done here, like the Fun Plus Studios is trying to do. But the problem that we have in Portugal is we have a lot of talent and very talented people, but most of those people are junior people with no
Mhm.
experience. So it's the valuable thing that we see when we see these acquisitions is these acquisitions by a studio, and they bring a lot of senior talent from outside to train up the people here. So this is kind of a long-term plan to do, and like in 10 years, these people that are now being acquired will hopefully open their studios, and by then they will be
Okay.
seniors.
So what's your
So
take?
my take is that because there's like the complication, so to speak, there's that the gaming industry is very much a global industry. Like,
Mhm.
so I think that oh yeah, it's a Portuguese studio. Well, unless you go like really hardcore, no, we're going to do it our way and going to this. It's still going to be a global game because, like, again, even in Lisbon, like I'm just looking at Funcom, we have loads of foreign people. Like we have a lot of local talent, but we also have loads of foreign people in all the teams in all the disciplines. Like if I start going like just the room I'm in, which is like
Mhm.
like just like one of the departments, yeah, I'm going to count a bajillion nationalities, and that does not count the Portuguese people who worked abroad. So so it's kind of like that's more of like a say it's a Portuguese studio is more of a marketing term than an
Yeah.
actual reality. It just means oh yeah, the studio is in Portugal because that's the thing. Like I mentioned all the studios that Funcom has across the world that are working on doing. I did not mention all the other ones that are outsourcing companies that are helping us, which are in even more countries.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, we can have like assuming like AA, AAA scale. Obviously, in the
Mhm.
you can always do like a group of friends, and that's always going to be like a Portuguese studio, and those can be very successful. But like at like the large scales, the Fun Plus, the Savers, the Funcoms, even Miniclip, because Miniclip makes small games, but they're honestly probably bigger than all of this. Now I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's always going to be like a global effort. So it's saying it's a Portuguese studio. Yes, actually that means that we want to have the head studio here.
Yeah.
We want to have basically the brains here.
Mhm.
But it is. But yes, like at this point, it doesn't really make sense. Oh yeah, it's a Portuguese because that's the thing. Like Ubisoft is a French company, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything. Like
Mhm.
so, it's difficult to
So
say.
it's a certain scale that
Yeah.
it doesn't even get.
Yeah, it
to
doesn't. It starts
worry
to
about.
yeah. At that point, it starts being like a marketing
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Obviously, like from the country, it still makes sense because we want to have that
Mhm.
that know-how here because we want to have that infrastructure here, and that all of that is really important.
Yeah.
But saying, oh yeah, it's a Portuguese studio, so it's a Portuguese game, it's always yeah, that's marketing more than anything
I can
else.
see. You can see that happening. Yes. I guess moving on to quite a different topic,
Mhm.
Dune Awakening,
Mhm.
massive game,
Mhm.
right? You worked on it. You said for 5 years.
5 years.
What does it? It hasn't released yet, so it's in beta, right?
Yep.
I've started to see some people spring up with some gameplay. How does it feel to finally have this massive product slowly being rolled out to the audience?
It's weird, like because that's thing because you get kind of desensitized to it because like I've seen this. Why is everyone so excited about? Like I've seen this for 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird because at the same time it also kind of validates a lot of the work because that's thing because you lose track of what the game is and how the
Yeah.
game feels, right? So yeah, because if you told me like not even like 6 months ago, oh yeah, the game is going to be received really well, I wouldn't believe you because that's the thing because you get so desensitized to it, you start only seeing the problem. So
Okay.
it is heartening to see. Oh yeah, like the work that I believe was good is actually good. So.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I kind of because yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like because for most of the people like here in Lisbon, it's the first game, especially a game this big that they actually want. So
Yeah.
it is a new experience for a lot of people. And again, like I said, I was 5 years. Some people have actually been more. Most obviously been less.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's an interesting experience. Like some people have that experience, some don't. So it's an interesting experience. But the game isn't out yet, so I
Yeah.
don't want to. Because like
Let's keep the
yeah, because like there was like a stream event yesterday that went well, did not went that well. So
Okay, yeah.
there's always like that kind of, oh, there's still problems to fix. Can we fix? Can we not fix them? So there's a lot going on.
So I find what you said about only seeing the negatives very prominent because we see that ourselves in our obviously way more indie
Yeah.
projects. It's very easy to get disheartened 1 year into the project, even 2 years into the project, and you're bogged down by all these problems, these bugs, the events. You're starting to worry like, oh, we have to go there, go here, and I guess how do you keep the eye on the prize? How did you stick through all these, I guess, halts?
Not easy. I will tell you that I went to therapy because of Tuna Wake. I'm going to tell you right now, it has not been
Yes.
easy. So, say it's not because at the end of the day, like the project is so big that asking me how do I keep the eye on the prize, like I don't particularly care at this point. Like I'm like, no, it's my job. Like that's the thing. Obviously, I want to do a good job. I want to do a project I'm proud of. But at the end of the day, it is my job, and a lot of people go with that approach. Like, yeah, the game did well. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But as long as I get my paycheck at the end of the day, that's enough. Obviously, a lot of people generally want to succeed, and we want people to want to succeed. But yes, like at the point you kind of have to get somewhat desensitized because, and no, it is my job. Like I intentionally don't play the game during my free time because I know I will need to break from it. So that also means that progressing the game is been very slow to me. So yeah, so it is again. It can be difficult, and especially when things start going wrong, it can be very difficult. So sometimes it's just like hoping that you're doing the right thing, and some people leave, some people don't, and because they're upset at something or something, and they leave. That happens a lot. Like at Funcom, we actually been doing okay in that front, but yes, it can be very difficult, especially like when there's problems stuff like that. Like, but so. Yeah, at the point it's just now you have to believe that you're doing the right thing, and you have to believe that things are going well, and that also depends on like the communication and the message being transmitted, and it's basically that. It's basically knowing what you have and understanding that, and sometimes that's easier than others.
I find what you said very humbling because a lot of times in our teams, in my teams, everyone's teams, when we get to this phase where the faith has gone down, the excitement, the novelty of it has worn out, it's I feel like a lot of people start to worry like, oh, maybe it's our fault. Maybe we're not doing a good job this game. Maybe the idea we had is not that good. So thank you for the insights because it really is very nice to see someone working in something this big being so honest about what it's like. Well, I guess then moving to a more, I guess, technical standpoint, you're a game designer, senior game designer, correct? Do you feel like there are problems in the game design that are unsolvable? Do you feel like sometimes you're just stuck, you have no idea how to fix this?
So, again, it depends on what you mean by unsolvable, right? Because there's okay, there isn't, because the question is why does that problem even exist to begin with? Because that it can be unsolved in the sense that we are not going to be allowed to solve this, and then this is it is straight up not possible to solve. Because the straight up not possible to solve, unless your concept is fundamentally flawed, that's almost never going to happen. The problem of you're not going to be allowed to solve this, that happens a lot because like there's problems in the game right now that I can say, yeah, we are never going to allow to solve this because doing this after the game goes live means resetting the server, and that cannot happen.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it's just like, okay, we know what the problems are, how can we minimize them? So other times it's just like, okay, no, because early in development you can go, okay, yes, this isn't working, let's take a step back to go again in different directions, stuff like that. And sometimes it's just like the concept fundamental does not work. Do we scrap it? Can we handle it? And sometimes it's just like, yeah, it's too late, we cannot do anything. So yes, you can have unsolvable problems, but what that means varies where you are in the project and what the project is. And yeah, it's complicated. Like,
That's interesting because I hadn't considered the fact that a live game has those kind of walls where it's like, oh, this would be, even if it was an easy fix,
Mhm.
the implications this would have, as you said,
Yeah.
for example, resetting the server, are just you can't do that.
Yes.
So that's interesting to hear because I hadn't considered that point.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much for
Mhm.
for speaking. This was very insightful. I feel like we should go into the games then. Here we have Roach's Gamble. Seems to be gambling again. The theme is Blackout.
Mhm.
There were some mechanical modifiers, so some more technical aspects of the game. We had each team decide what they wanted to do. I assume these went for the RNG because we had one that was a random number generator. So I guess go ahead and
Yeah.
try and play.
There's a toilet
Yes, that's what I
Okay.
was.
So you go to the casino to gamble.
Mhm.
All is well, all is good. I like the art. There seems to be a lot of effort put in for a week.
Yeah.
Oh, it blacked out the roach
Okay.
the rest of your life.
Just a gambler.
Whilst this blackout persists, you might need to keep bringing toilet paper to the man in the bathroom. Okay, maybe man, maybe not. After all, he has got all the food and water in the casino. So I guess you're gambling for toilet paper, as we tend to see in these events. At least thanks to our friendly neighborhood roach, the machines are still powered.
Okay.
This is your current amount of toilet paper and how much you'll need to survive the day.
In this I used a lot of toilet paper.
46 rolls is
Yeah.
quite a bit for one day.
No,
Click one of those machines to get
it can be
cash.
sheets of toilet paper.
Oh, it can be just toilet paper sheets.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess get to gambling. It seems to be.
Oh, there's like different games.
Oh, yeah, there seems to be like a couple of machines.
This is out, so there's like two.
Alright. The slot machine. Alright. Number of times you
Times.
can use this machine today. Any more will tire the roach. Okay.
Sure.
Blackout switch. Once the slots are spinning, you could shut down the machine to cheat. Okay.
Mm.
Your way out of some losses. I see. You can set how much to bet using the betting buttons.
Baby,
Once you're ready, just pull the lever and start spinning. Okay. There's baby bet, normal bet, and cool bet.
Cool bet.
Okay, we're going all in on the first. We're going all in. Hopefully. Okay, that's three of this. Oh,
Is this good or bad?
I'm not sure, but it's three of the same, so yeah, I'd say it's good. And we're not fully broke yet, so
Oh, so yeah, we're
But
probably.
we lost.
it was 75.
How? Okay.
Oh, we're,
Sure.
I don't think we have 100.
Yeah, but I was just checking if it let
Yeah.
me. Okay, so cool bad. What happened?
I'm not sure. Did you black? Oh, maybe you blacked out now.
No, it didn't do anything.
Maybe I might have clicked on
Yeah.
that by accident.
3 tries left.
Because I think that I have no
Okay,
idea.
Oh,
okay,
we
some
won.
money.
Yeah, we want to win.
Oh, wait.
So now we do a cool bet. How does this work on the? Oh,
I'm not sure if you can like drag it.
Do a baby bet and test it out. Maybe you need
Oh,
to.
so that resets to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that there's a limit there. Oh,
Oh, no, it's good.
Okay.
It's
oh,
good.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Last try. Shut it down. Shut it down.
I think it's not too late.
But still, we're fine. We're fine. I guess then
Okay, now
on
how do I
to
go back?
175.
how to go back. Okay.
Is it blackjack maybe?
Yes, maybe.
Ooh.
Dices.
This is the number of times you can use this machine
Yeah.
today. Any more would tire the. Okay, yeah.
No, it's the same.
That's a. Yeah, blackout.
Okay, yeah, I think I see everything.
Alright. So this is dice. It's either
1-1, low, 1-1, ace.
61 to 1.
if it okay, so that's like the end result of the dice, I assume. So if it's like 3 1s, you multiply by 61 whatever you bet.
Yeah.
If it's between 13 and 16, it's you get your money back, and
I would say
Five.
higher.
oh, you can bet multiple
Oh,
times.
you can.
Okay.
You can bet multiple.
Oh no,
times.
or is that the?
Yeah, it's
that's
always 10 at a time.
2-1-1.
I was very confused by that.
So it was low. I assume it was low.
Actually, 1 to 1.
Oh, okay. So you
1-1
press.
doesn't seem like you make any profit if you're right. Or do you just get back the same? I guess you get back the same you put
Yeah.
in and what you put
That's
in.
what I.
Yeah, just doubling the money probably.
No, the thing is that that's 2 to 1 then.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. The
Oh,
UI
I-
is bad.
Yeah.
Profit ratio. Surely.
Yeah. I spent 10. I got 10 back.
Oh, this is
So just to lose. This is typical casino, just to lose money.
oh.
Yeah, basically, like
You can
the
make
only
huge
thing I can do
money.
is like try to get the aces here. Yeah, basically, it's, oh, you're super rich, so you can
Oh,
close.
no. Yeah, could have been worse. All right.
So yes. Oh, that's,
And then
this
there's-
one is new.
Oh.
Roulette.
Roulette.
Okay,
I
sure.
like the
Special.
I like the view. All right. So you can
So-
bet. I assume special is like the green,
Yeah.
then odd, even, red, black. Okay.
Red, black, even, odd. Can we black on multiple times? No.
No, only 10 at a time.
Can I do this? Oh, I can.
Oh, okay. Black,
Black
and
odd.
odd. Okay.
So I should have gotten like.
So just got the money back.
No, I lost because I spent.
'Cause, yeah.
Wait, but this is also 1 to 1.
This casino is very flawed.
Yeah, there's only one machine that works. No,
I know,
no,
no,
you
it's
won.
2 to
Okay.
1.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can spin here, red, even. Nah.
you should do one special.
I don't know what the special is, like even so.
It's like the green one. I think there's 30 or something numbers, and then there's one that's green.
Mm.
So it's 1 in 30
How
chance.
do I even stop
I
this?
promise
Because
I'm not
don't
a
have-
gambler.
Okay, because the thing is that I don't know what's the point of that there then, because I don't know what's going to get before it gets.
True, yeah, you have to time it like.
I think it's when it's blinking, you can shut
Alright.
it off before it takes your money away.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm.
Okay, so then it'll be. Oh, and then it
Oh,
goes up
that's
and
a
up. Necessary for. Oh, I really like
Oh
the
god.
the eyes
Oh,
of the
there's.
toilet paper.
I guess
Oh.
upgrade.
Oh, you can
Oh.
upgrade.
Oh, now this is
Okay.
Interesting.
of getting back like 2.5%. Oh, we can increase this. Okay.
Connect to the side.
Oh,
take
this
this.
is
Ah,
This
and
is
you
good.
increase your bed size. That's it. That's interesting.
only 4 toilet. This is cheap. Only 4 toilet papers.
Only for toilet
This is
paper.
each 1 to 1, so it doesn't matter.
Slightly
Because I'm not going to get money
Can we
back.
increase the good machine? The
No,
slot machine?
it's the one that isn't here.
Oh, so the good machine doesn't have upgrade.
Roulette.
Wow.
Oh no, it's here.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
you can,
You can
bet
double the
more.
size of the bets.
Oh, so you can win money faster. Sure.
All right. Day 2.
So
Cool,
man.
man. Oh no, it's 200. We don't have 200. Yeah?
Not bad.
Now we can do a cool bet.
Now we can do a cool.
Shut it off, shut it off, shut it off.
It didn't click.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
or-
think it's anytime the skull. No, we
Well.
lost.
No, we can go.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Can we make a? No, we cannot.
Contempo.
Wait, I can bet 10.
We lost.
No, it doesn't
No
let
more.
me.
We spent all our toilet paper.
Well, we
Alright.
died.
Toilet paper man. We are sorry, but we don't have. Oh. Oh.
Oh, wait.
We can be indebted. How do
Oh,
you this?
yeah.
Oh, we didn't have enough toilet paper to trade for food and water today. Well, that was fun.
This was a good game.
This was a good game.
At least one machine was the good game.
No, but I did like the upgrade part.
The upgrade part I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
that
that
was-
was
it
that was my
was
good.
surprise. Very interesting. Yep.
More games.
Well, yeah. Let's see. We can play. We can also play one of the previous ones, but you've already seen those. I guess. I mean, we'll replay this one. This one is mine, but we'll not. If we replay mine, it seems very. Well, what's this one? No, this is Zips. Okay, we'll play the racing game then. Here.
This is made in Kubus, I believe.
Yeah, so this is Kubus engine. It's our our own engine that we developed. If I'm not
Also toilet paper.
yeah, I guess toilet paper is a recurring theme. I'm not sure how.
Do this work?
I assume it's working.
Okay.
It's not good.
I think the main menu had to be on the keyboard, at least from when I played this for 5 seconds.
Well, space is also
Press
isn't working.
Not space, yeah. Let's restart
Nothing
and
is
try.
working. Add support.
Let's close and see. Hold on. If it wants to close. Is this even gonna close?
So it's almost as good as Unreal already.
Does it want to work? It was working like 1 hour ago when I tested it. Why is it?
Maybe it's interfering with the controller.
Do we need to take off both controllers?
Yeah.
Try and take off both controllers.
No. How many engineers?
Oops, what is going on with the game?
You have the previous copy?
The preview copy.
The previous.
Previous copy.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe. Oh, I probably do. Yeah. Oh, because it's the most recent build. Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's what happens. You gotta play test before you deliver. Here you go. This one works then. This was the one I tested, I guess.
Yeah,
I
that
assume-
one is smaller, but
Right?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm pressing everything.
Is there space?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. So space or A to add players. I feel like now the
Well,
control.
the controller has been
I pressed
detected.
something.
No, I feel like it's just. Did you press A?
I pressed every button.
It's really.
Oh. Yep, almost as good as Unreal.
Well, I'm here too, I guess. Sure. I'm still falling.
Oh.
Slowly but surely we'll race to the finish line.
23 frames per second.
How can we start again?
Yeah, I guess so.
Tap start.
I'll tab. Okay.
Okay. Oh no. At least this game doesn't need reaction.
Okay, who am I?
I'm the.
So I think it's
that one.
R2 to accelerate, if I'm not wrong. Oh, this is the slowest race ever. How do I go forwards in the is it space?
I don't even know who I am.
I'm not sure. Well, it clearly needs a bit of optimization, but
Oh, I'm going. Oh.
I
Am
don't
I
know
the
who I
red?
am. I don't know if I'm pink or green.
oh, I think I'm red.
I think so.
So L2 is to go back, R2 is to go forward. This is quite the experience.
I don't know who I am.
Well, we'll go on to the next one, I guess. Well, fix your performance issues.
That's why we're shooting.
That's why I'm here?
It works on.
Is this how Zoom looks like?
Consulting, yes.
What other games? We have Woldering. This is Unreal. So you were talking about Unreal. Let's see how
It's
it
gonna be
fares.
even worse.
Let's compare Kubu's engine to Unreal engine.
Yeah, fair comparison. Fair comparison.
Unreal's gonna crash and burn.
Oh. Is this? I don't know if this is single player. If this is multiplayer.
It looks
Maybe
single
single
player.
It's still really laggy.
Oh.
Like I said, almost as good as Unreal.
Oh, and
They're
it's,
close.
and it's gone.
I don't know, it's
Oh,
black.
it's the blackout.
Oh, the blackout. Okay, yeah.
So we're playing in pitch black at 3 FPS.
Is that a flashlight or something? No.
The
Time is. The clock's ticking.
Is it?
and the
Okay,
pink bar
something
is
is
going
happening.
down.
Not sure.
Just accept it.
Well, at least in Kubus we could see something.
Yeah.
So that's.
Oh, you're just going to die.
I assume so.
I guess they had some last minute issues. I think so. Yeah.
You are alive.
We've
You
been
have
waiting
been
for
waiting.
you. I don't know. Oh.
Hey,
It's a
yo.
different color.
Is this
Oh.
Join these VR not zombies, you are funny guys.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm a zombie.
Ah.
Maybe you have to kill other players or other people. Oh, oh! I love how the zombies just sliding.
No, it's a thing. It's getting
dark
dark
again.
again. It's nighttime, I assume.
It's like it's very, very faint. Okay, you can see. I wonder what the goal is.
Yes. Okay.
I do find it interesting if it's a zombie game where you can be a zombie. So,
Yeah.
but I wonder how you'd make it like unique, being a zombie but not being like just another one of the NPCs.
Yeah, things that I don't know controls, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I don't know. No tutorial.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Because it just keeps spawning and I don't know.
oh, the T-pose. You just spawn like a T-pose zombie.
Hey, the lighting is good.
Oh.
All right. Oh, there's a.
There's something
Pink?
glowing there. Is it supposed to be?
Oh.
Is this supposed to be like missing textures in the ground?
I'm not sure.
Oh. You know what?
Can you like attack it or something? Just like work.
Yeah.
A sprite. Oh, they just keep coming. Maybe the vending machine is responding to them.
I don't think that like.
Oh.
I don't think you can break it. Well, it's 1 a.m. and
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. Oh well. I guess. I think Unreal one. What do you think? Unreal. Well,
I mean, I like the T-pose spawning
that was
of the
nice. Yeah.
zombies.
Well, from the games you were seeing before, any you'd like to try out? We can try like.
Do we have time? Or
Well, how much time do we have? 5 minutes. Then I'll just ask some like closing questions. Fabio, since I haven't talked to you that much. So in PvP, you said you worked at the PvP and somewhere else?
Heroic Labs.
Heroic Labs. And what do you do there? What's your position?
I'm developer relations engineer.
Developer Relations Engineer?
Yeah, so I make sure that our customers have the best experience using our product. So documentation, tooling.
And what's your product? It's like...
So we have different products and we focus on making multiplayer solutions on social features.
Okay.
So inventory systems, chat systems, branch systems,
Alright.
economies, tournaments, leaderboards. So
Oh.
we have like the software is done.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to put it in the running on the server side, put it in your engine of your choice, just connect everything, and it's
Alright.
done. You don't have to spend time making all the systems by yourself.
So do you talk directly with the customers or more so make sure the documentation is up to date and all the infrastructure?
No, both.
How do you tell a customer nicely that the problem is like they're doing so like if they haven't read the documentation and they clearly are just
Yeah.
immediately jumping to the support, how do you deal with those situations?
Well, just send them a link back to the documentation.
Yeah, and
That's
It's-
mostly the time that's what happens.
okay,
But a lot of the times, our customers are good in that regard.
all right.
And most of the questions that they ask us are some things that are missing from documentation.
Mhm.
And then anytime that happens, we just answer the question and update the documentation for that. So in the future,
Oh.
if anyone has the same question, it's already there.
And I guess, is there any, because I have no clue, I haven't really interacted with that area, is there any particularity about maintaining the documentation of a specific tool or software? Well, in your case, Heroic Labs. Is there anything that's interesting or that people don't really expect that needs to be done? Is there any like hidden.
Yeah, because the thing is, you have, especially in games where you have different people working on a game from
Mhm.
different areas, and each of those areas has a different personality and a different experience when using a software. When you're writing documentation, you have to make sure that you have different kinds of documentation for those different types of personalities.
Okay.
Because there are people that learn how to program watching a YouTube video. There are other people that learn by reading a guide. Others by reading the functions references of the
Mhm.
software. So I just have to make sure that we have a bit of everything.
So you
for
appeal
everyone.
to
Yeah.
different backgrounds. Okay, that's interesting. But all in the same page, or do you have like different landing pages? No,
It's the same page.
just explained in different.
Yeah, so these the auto guides, here are the deep diving guides, here are our YouTube channel, here are our forums, so there's different
Okay.
types you can interact with.
So I guess before we go into intermission, is there anything any of you would like to leave us with? Any social media? Do you wanna anything you wanna add about Dune?
Wishlist.
Wishlist
You
Dune.
should buy it. If you buy it, you can play the
Oh,
beta
you
this
can-
weekend.
And what platform? Steam.
Steam.
Oh,
Right
Steam.
now, it's going to be just Steam for launch. Eventually, consoles.
Okay.
Probably next year. Probably.
Okay.
Soon to you.
And Fabio, anything you'd like the people supporting PvP, Heroic Lab?
Yeah, follow our socials. Just search APVP anywhere.
Anywhere, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much for coming. Again, it was very interesting, very insightful, and I hope you had fun playing our games. I'll see you hopefully next year, maybe some other time. Short intermission now. We'll be right back.
Na volta.
Epá, pois eu acho que fazemos aqui assim.
Tem que rodear, por causa mesmo aí sempre cheio, né?
Pois, mas é que assim ao menos eu consigo ouvir as pessoas em vez de estar like.
Aí, aqui está o ar-condicionado, aqui está-se bem.
Pronto, o preâmbulo é que era suposto ser o Gonçalo a fazer isto, mas ele teve uma emergência ontem à meia-noite e então estou eu. Sim, como está tudo bem, Pedro. O Gonçalo ia fazer a entrevista, foi uma emergência familiar, mas está tudo bem. E.
Inglês.
Inglês, olha, o Ecosphere está
Não sei.
Não sabes? Fala aí um mouse, se puderes.
Os cartazes ali estão para baixo.
Are we live?
Deixa eu dizer.
Okay, so hello everyone. We are back. We are now on our last section. We have 3 speakers. So would you like to introduce yourselves? Starting with you, Diogo.
Yeah, I can start. So I'm Diogo Rato. I was one of the founders of GDT back in 2020. I now have a startup that does automated QA for video games, and I'm also the director of APVP.
Yeah, my name is André Antunes. I was one of the presidents of GDT, medical projects here, and now I'm working on Arcadium as a game designer.
Alright, and usual.
Okay, so I'm João. I was in Game Dev Technico 3 years ago. Now I'm an engine programmer at Funcom, working on Dune Awakening.
Alright, very interesting. So starting off with this side, Diogo, I've already talked a bit with Fabio about APVP's mission. How would you say, I guess I don't know which starter question to ask, honestly, I have so many, but what's your current mission, I suppose, more specifically besides promoting the game industry here in Portugal? What
Yeah.
what are you focused on now, I guess?
I did not sync up my answer with Fabio, so I hope we are aligned in our strategy and mission. But yeah, APVP was founded 3 years ago, more or less, 2022. It started operating in July, and our mission was always to help the industry in Portugal. It was founded by 9 studios in Portugal, now it's 30. We help in different facets, both on the industry level, the university one, the policy making, so we try to orchestrate the efforts between all different agents in the industry. And the strategy down the line is to create a nurturing environment for game studios to appear in Portugal. And there are multiple ways to do that. Now we are mostly focused on allowing policy makers to do good policy for game developers and also help other companies soft land in Portugal.
And what do you think has been the biggest wall that has been stopping Portuguese game developers from getting out there and getting their name out there? What do you think has been blocking the industry here in the last decades or years?
I wouldn't say there's a wall. There's definitely the industry has been growing for the past 15 to 20 years. So there's an industry. We are growing at a very nice rate, 2 digits per year, more or less, 40% in the last five years, both in the number of studios and also on the turnover of these studios. I'd say that there are some obstacles and struggles that we face as game developers in Portugal that we do not see that across other state members in the European Union. Mostly there is no fiscal or financial incentives for game developers, or at least tailored and specifically designed for game developers. There are incentives that can apply to game studios, to game tech, also to universities, but they do not look at game development as a strategic industry that Portugal needs to invest in, and that's something we are changing slowly. I'd say that last year we had the first pavilion at Gamescom, and it was an important milestone because it allowed us to showcase that not only we had people going to Gamescom before, but finally we have a place that these folks can call a home during those 3-4 days at Gamescom. And not only it helps us sell Portugal as a nice place for you to kickstart your company. We have here at the Gaming Hub Max that joined us from Sweden with already some games developed, but also it allows us to showcase what the current studios in Portugal are doing, looking for publishers, for editors, for other type of deals, and we show our collective identity as a country.
All right.
And this has been working well, but definitely the support that we need, it's not yet there in comparison to other countries. But I wouldn't say there's a wall.
No, yeah.
There's definitely some obstacles, but all industries have obstacles.
Yeah.
Like if we look into Germany, we take it for granted we have good internet access and all the infrastructure. They don't have it. So there's always cons and pros across multiple countries, and we have our strength, and we are trying to leverage on that.
All right, very interesting. Thank you. And Andre, so you're working at Arcadium as a game designer?
Yeah.
How many years have you been working there now?
I go now 1.5, I think. Yeah, I'll make 2 in November.
How was it like breaking into, or I guess landing a job as a game designer, since it's a bit harder, at least from what I've seen, to showcase your work when comparing like to an artist who can just have a portfolio of different works they've done, or even a programmer with a code base that they can showcase. How do you really show your work as a game designer? Just clever solutions?
Yeah, I mean, there are ways for you to showcase a portfolio, but the thing about game design is a position that has a lot of decision making. and
Mhm.
a lot of it is theory, and a lot of the knowledge that you get by experience. So normally the entry point for a game designer is really difficult. That's why there are not much openings in terms of entry point in terms of junior, and of course the companies must have some assurance that the person they are basically hiring has some capability of making that decisions or of having that knowledge, and that's a bit more difficult to test in terms of knowledge. On the other way around, artists can have a portfolio, programmers can have tests. Game designer is a bit more difficult. So yeah, it was really difficult. I took basically a year trying to break in. I was already like trying for jobs in programming because I have a background from computer science. But then I got lucky. I got an opportunity, and I took it with all the strength that I had, and yeah, I landed.
Yeah, that seems very nice. And is there any, on a more personal note, is there any game that you feel like has had some sort of very clever solution, very clever mechanic that has really inspired you, I guess, along your way? Any name you can remember, or what inspires you to problem solve like a game designer?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of work that I do at Arcademy is a bit more like puzzle games and things like that. So it's much more mechanical in that sense, a quiz, something like that. So in terms of inspiration, I'm a bit more of a narrative guy. So I like games like Last of Us and all the games from. I'm not remembering the name of the company. Telltale, exactly. Thank you. So yeah, I like those kinds of games, and one of them inspired me the most was one from Naughty Dog that's not only about narrative, is a bit more mechanical, which is Uncharted. And I think it broke my perception of what the game can be, because it was really high level in terms of development, in terms of the narrative, in terms of how it delivered the narrative, and then the gameplay was something that I never played. I know that there are a couple of games that already did the same thing that Uncharted did. So a shooter that's a platform game at the same time, like Tomb Raiders and things like that. But I think Uncharted made it to a level of perfection, of course, with quotes, that I never seen anything like that. And of course, you kind of get inspired because you see things that you thought that you didn't even think that could be in a game, and they did it, and yeah. So
I guess one of the things that surprised me most about Uncharted was on the Thief's End game, the car winch mechanic. I feel like that was really clever design on. Yeah. And one of the things you were saying, when you say, I didn't even think that could be done. I feel like it was so well delivered that it just worked well with not only the gameplay, because as you said, it's a platformer, and now you can use this winch to interact with the environment, and so I do also agree with you that
another good example was Last of Us Part 2, where you have a couple of puzzles where you have basically to pull like a rope or something like that, and basically hang things from the ceiling and break windows. And the cool thing that Naughty Dog does in those kinds of puzzles is you don't have basically a tutorial. You don't know the extent of capabilities that you have in a game, but by exploring, by incentivizing to explore, you basically discover things by yourself, and you feel really accomplished, even if they are small things, if they are small puzzles.
Yeah, exactly. They're very talented. So now moving on to you, João. You work at Funcom as an engine programmer, right?
Yes.
So you develop a proprietary engine, I assume?
Not quite. So Dune is made with an Unreal Engine.
Okay.
But as is very common in the industry, we kind of have our own version of Unreal Engine with just way too many modifications to count. So it's a Frankenstein kind of Unreal.
What are the biggest challenges when you pick up this pre-existing engine and to mold it and shape it into exactly what you need?
Honestly, with one of the biggest problems I think we face with Unreal is documentation, because with engines of this scale, there's no way documentation is going to be able to cover everything. So a lot of the time you're just going to have to go in and read the code yourself and try to figure out what the heck the developer that made this function that you need to use for some reason was trying to do. And most of the time you'll get it somewhat right, but you won't have all of the underlying assumptions that the dev made that will have consequences in the future. There will be bugs that you had no idea would show up, but were there in the code.
Mhm.
You just didn't have the knowledge to notice at the time. That's one of the biggest problems I think we face.
So, and then on your side, after you have added on certain components, have you had an easy time keeping up like the documentation of the components you added?
Yes and no. It depends. Like there have been times where we've done an exceptional job documenting our code.
Okay.
That mostly comes when we expect it to be heavily used from the get-go. So there's systems that we've made that are like every little bit, every function, every attribute is documented. We know what it does. We know its consequences. That's because we know from the get-go that people are going to use it extensively and they're going to hit those problems, and we don't want to be the ones to manually go to every dev and explain why this function requires these arguments or whatever. That's why we document those. Sometimes you make a system that you think, oh, this is just a tiny little system, it's pretty cool, I'm just going to leave it here, and then a year later everyone's using it and you forgot how you made it. That's happened. That's just par for the course when you're working with bigger teams, I guess. Like at Dune we have around 200 programmers, so it scales not in the best way, I would say.
It does seem a bit scary to have other people's work rely on yours, in the sense that you're the one who makes their tools, and if their tools fail,
Yeah.
it does weigh on you, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's part of the life of a software engineer, not just in gaming. Like,
Yeah.
if you're doing any sort of low-level work, people are gonna rely on you eventually. That's just part of your job. And you learn that you're not gonna be able to cover everything all the time. And you also need to know when to let some things go, and like that's one of that actually leads me to a very important point for me, which is knowledge sharing. When you're working with bigger teams, or even if it's just like a smaller team, you shouldn't try to keep information all on you. Even if you have documentation, you should try to divide the load as evenly as possible. Never have just one person that's the owner of this big system. Try to divide that. Try to give other people the same knowledge you have. Because imagine, these things happen. Like, what if you have to leave the company? What if somehow you need to move to a different role within the company, and now there's no one handling that code that you made? If you took the time to knowledge share and to give all of that info to someone else, then you won't have as rough of a time during the transition period.
So I guess my follow-up question would be, keeping the code base, as you said, shared between... So you make a feature, you're sharing the code with like 5 people. How do you keep everyone sane? So as we know, like everyone has their own styles, everyone has their own, oh no, this has to be this way, or it's not efficient and it's not pretty. And how do you like keep each other sane, and what are the necessary skills to work together on a team of programmers?
Right. First off, standards.
Okay.
Enforce standards, design standards. Even if you think this little bit doesn't need to be as perfect as it should be, no. Enforce the standard. Even if it's just like some kind of code formatting, that's a good enough starting point. Even if it's just like good coding practices, like there are specific patterns you can follow just to ensure your code has some baseline performance or baseline like safety. That's like a good starting point. Second part is just work with each other a lot. If you start working enough with people, you learn how they think. You will learn what some people have idiosyncrasies. That's just part of being human, obviously. So the more you learn how other people work, the more you can learn how to share your knowledge among each other. And that way, as long as you work together enough, you kind of just start becoming a huge hive mind. That's how I think teams work best, when they're not just like individuals, but just part of a bigger thing that all has kind of the same amount of knowledge. Obviously, people are going to have more proficiency in specific fields, on this feature, this other feature. But as long as everyone is mostly in the same mind space most of the time, I don't think it becomes an issue.
Right. That's very nice to hear because you know, even as a computer science student, there's even in groups of two there can be like very serious conflicts on how to do
Yes.
certain things. So you know, I feel like that was very helpful to hear.
Yeah, get together, like just put yourselves in a call, program together for an hour. That's like, if you do that every week, that helps so much.
Okay, that does seem kind of cozy. So
Yeah.
there's some tips for our Kubus engine people. I think you already know this, right? We have
Yeah.
our own engine. Etc.
I worked on Kubus for
you
like a
did.
few months before
How long ago?
right before I work started getting real, basically. So 2-3 years ago, yeah.
All right, that was very interesting. Diogo, you are the leader. What's your position at APVP? You're the
I'm
like
the
director.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like there are enough events inside Portugal and outside of universities? So, for example, excluding Mojo and even Game Dev Technique, do you feel like there are enough events like jams and conventions in Portugal to uphold the public view of Portuguese games?
Well, I think first it's important to structure how do we see the landscape of events. There's
Mhm.
events that focus more on selling games, events for consumers. Then you have events for developers, for knowledge sharing, for establishing partnerships for BizDev, and so on. Then you have networking and gatherings, and both Lisbon and Porto has been very well nurtured in that sense. They have been running monthly events for the past 8 years, 7 years for networking. It depends. Like for us as a PvP, our goal is not only to look at the needs of our members, but also look at the needs of the whole ecosystem, and not just the companies, also the universities, the students, the policymakers again. If you're saying that maybe the average Portuguese citizen does not know the games that are there in Portugal, definitely, and there could be a better job at that end that could be done. I don't think events will solve that. I think you need a lot of different parties to do their job, and we are slowly moving towards that filling that void that there was no presence of video games in, for instance, traditional mainstream media for many years, and slowly we start to see those. I don't think there's a scarcity of events in Portugal. I just think that not everybody is able to go to all of them, and it's okay. Not all events need to be appealing to every agent and party in the industry. And I think right now we are at a very good moment. Like we have DevGam in November that yields a lot of results for a lot of developers, students, for the companies coming to Portugal as well. We have 2 big consumer events by the end of the year, both in Lisbon and in Porto. We have the gatherings every single month, both in Lisbon and Porto as well. We have the FCOM Leadership Summit at the first quarter of the year, so we have it in February. It's very close in the sense that it's focused on executives and mostly not to the local executives. But you are able as a Portuguese developer, and we at the PvP have been pushing for that, to expose C-levels and top management staff from big studios in a way that you could not by going abroad. So if they are coming here, we try to allow the studios here to also get in touch with them and learn from them. But I wouldn't say there's a scarcity. Like right now, I think we have 5 game dev technical groups in Portugal. They all organize their events. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna go to Leiria to talk in their game journey. So there's a lot of things happening. Don't feel the need to attend all of them. But try to see the return on your investment in terms of time, where you should go or not. There are clearly some key events that you should attend, and it's not only Portugal. Like Spain, it's very close by. You know? There's tons of events. It's the closest you can be as a country, and you have a huge culture of consuming indie games, of allowing you to play test in venues that you do not have in Portugal yet for the general consumer. So look at those opportunities. I think we are doing our job in spreading those opportunities, but if you feel there's a need to do something else, also you should be the drive and the force to do that.
Moving a bit off topic, and this is a question for everyone, not just for you. How do you feel the public image of games has grown in Portugal? So, some years ago, I feel like it was even more obvious that there was a lot of stigma around what a video game entails with the older generations here. This is not just in Portugal, also in America, and the news outlets tend to always portray a kind of negative image on some video games. Because of a small minority of games, they just expanded to every game. How do you feel the public, I guess, how are the games seen in the public eye nowadays? Do you feel like it's still as, not controversial, but as like, does it still have such a negative light as it used to?
I really wouldn't say so. Mostly because there was a big part of it that was just mainstream media negatively covering video games. Nowadays, the weight of mainstream media outlets, I would say, is not as large. We have a lot of alternative media, a lot of media on the internet, a lot of online outlets that do their own coverage. And those I don't feel are nearly as negative on video games. A lot of them are actually very positive on video game coverage. So I would say don't look at what you see in the TV if you want to gauge what the public perception on video games is.
I guess I meant more so the common folk, the people who aren't as into tech and as like just the people who aren't in the area, in the industry. They respect movies, they respect shows, they respect. But I feel, and I might be completely wrong about this, I feel like there's not as much respect for the effort that's put into developing a video game. Do you agree?
I don't think it's respect. I think it's a lack of understanding because every new thing that comes around, like people have some difficulty to accept, and games was one of them. So as soon as games appears, there were a lot of articles and a lot of news about how violent people could be because of games. And of course, then when science and studies advanced, the results came, and people understand that might not be the actual case. But I think one thing that was really positive for the game industry was mobile gaming. Because before, for you to play a game, you needed or a PC or a console or things like that. But when mobile came, everybody has a mobile phone. Everybody can play the games. So a lot of the common folk, as we could call them in respective to hardcore gaming, had basically an entry to the industry and to the knowledge of what is a game. A game doesn't have to be like a GTA where you shoot people and you drive around without any fire against GTA. But I think people understanding that games can be quite simple, can be quite good experience, can cater to a very huge audience and very diverse people. Basically started to change their perceptions of games. So.
Yeah. And you, is there anything you'd like to add? Even from the point of view of a PvP or just
I
your
have a
personal...
lot to add, but I think I'll restrain myself from sharing all the opinions. But I think, particularly for the audience, one of the things that I slowly started to realize while doing this job was that there will be some voids appearing in terms of information, and either you take the opportunity to share what you're doing and emphasize the merits of the industry, or somebody else will do that for you. And if there's a burden that we have currently of not having such a good reputation as the industry from mainstream media in Portugal, it is also due to the fact that nobody pushed for the merits of the industry for many. With that being said, I think right now we have a large enough sample of good job in the industry, good works, good employers, good employees, good companies, good universities. So there's a lot to showcase the merits of the industry, and that's something that I've slowly learned. And if you do not share your success, nobody will do that for you most of the times. So try to showcase what you've been doing and what you believe in, so that others can also understand that there's something there. On the other hand, a lot of my job is also to talk with municipalities, to executive bodies, to public officials, and there's clearly a huge gap between what we consider to be game dev and what they consider to be games as a whole. So in Portugal, it's even a little bit harder because the terms in Portuguese that we use for games, jogos, it can cover social games, casino games, iGaming, lottery tickets. So you put everything into the same basket, and it's very hard to appeal to the needs of all the different agents and parties in the industry. So our job is also to make sure that we are not the same as the others, and the needs that we have are completely different. And since the needs are different, the work is also different, and the outcomes are also different. And our job is to showcase what's been done. And I think there's, again, as João said, there's a lot of different outlets besides traditional media to showcase. But again, for the general public, that's the one that they consume the most. I think we are doing a good job overall. If you look from the consumer end, we could do a better job. If you look from the business end, I think we, as a country, are promoting our industry quite well. There's a lot of people that believe in Portugal. You can see ZPX was acquired by Funcom 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
2018. Big Moon was acquired by Saber. Fortis acquired Opio. So there's clearly a lot of traction in Portuguese companies to be acquired and consolidating into larger groups. And you are seeing a lot of new companies appearing also. So I'd say it's two different struggles to tackle. So
Mhm.
one challenge is to guarantee that the general public knows that there is an industry, and it covers from mobile games to indie games to everything that we know and we love to do. And on the other end, there's also business opportunities here that appeal to foreigners, and we are doing a good job on that end. A little
Thank you.
bit better than the first one.
Yeah. No, yeah, thank you for your input. I feel like it was very valuable. Shall we get into some games then to try and play all the ones we made in this week? We'll do Black Start because we haven't had a look at that one yet. So, any of you who would like to take control of the computer, that's not me. Do you? Sorry.
Sure.
Do you?
I'm
Sure.
down.
Let's have you play.
Just
Okay,
go better with mouse.
I heard this is heavy on the sound cues, so there might be a bit of confusion since we don't have sound.
Sure.
but-
I'll imagine it.
Yeah, imagine it. Well,
And fix 5
Plus what's
generators.
I think we can actually have it. So
Okay.
we had got the green light from. Let's put it on here. Will this be able? Okay, I think we can hear it.
Oh, like the
Yeah,
static
it's like
is
a
already
static.
part of the game. Nice.
Okay, so you have to fix 5 generators. I like the tutorial being organic once again. Instead of just being text, I like that it's in little paper sheets.
Monster. Sure.
Send the monster, find the generators. That's time passed. I think those are apps on
Sure.
like the little phone you have.
We'll just
We'll go.
figure it
Go
out.
with the flow.
We'll figure it out.
You're doing great. So far.
Yeah, so there's your little flip phone.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Well, like spikes. That's fine. Oh, it's like tough. It's like footsteps.
Yeah. If you open the flip phone,
I'm trying to figure it out. Space.
you should have read the story.
Can I maybe see it?
Oh.
Oh, no, I can't. Oh, maybe I click it.
Look, press 1. 1?
Yes, an help from the audience.
Oh, we need,
We need
uh,
them. The mouse.
Okay, yeah.
Really? Okay. Sure. Oh, yeah, I need to scroll. Wait. Can I?
Oh. we have production is giving us a mouse.
The production.
Okay. Plug
Kind
it.
of getting scared because like this sounds. I don't know if it's my heartbeat or if it's
I think it's
I
not
think it's
yours.
just-
It's yours.
or if it's like steps and something's coming to get me, which is very uncomfy.
That work?
Yeah, in that point, at least the audio design seems like in
Ah,
a really
yeah.
good place.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it on?
Might
Nope.
be turned off.
It's
Okay.
hey.
Alright. You said what? 1? Press 1?
You need to press 1 when the mouse is appearing because we have a toggle.
Okay,
But
press 1.
normally the mouse doesn't
Right.
appear.
How do I open my flip phone?
It's the scroll wheel.
Oh.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
not that
necessary to restart the game because we got the
Yeah,
mouse
sure.
Sorry.
after.
Okay.
You're doing
I'm
great.
so good at this game. I'm so good.
Do you guys feel like you're good at games, even though you develop them? Do you feel like?
Oh, I'm trash.
I never play anything mildly competitive. Aha! There we go. Look at the
And then I guess you selected the numbers, or
maybe I can
Oh.
like do it like this.
No,
now.
with key and E.
okay, Q and E. You're right.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, so those are the apps. You have to fix the 5 generators now. Good luck. I
Wait.
trust you.
Nope. No, I don't want to do that. How do I?
You're
What a click.
wasting your battery too.
I'm trying to figure out how I select the.
I like the the click animation.
Yeah,
Very
okay.
fast.
So.
I think
This feels very, very eerie.
it does. The ambience does seem to be very well done.
No, is that?
The sound. You're gonna run out of battery on your phone and die, I think.
Yeah, probably. How do I?
Is that a generator?
It's based interact.
Oh,
Oh.
that's one.
So that worked.
Oh, and you got your phone battery back. That's good.
GG's.
Good job.
I think nothing bad is going to happen.
Surely,
Don't have to
surely,
be nervous.
surely. I'm gonna get jump scared and yell. It's fine. I already feel it.
The VHS filter or the like old analog TV filter
Can I
also
sit?
really adds.
I cannot sit.
Check your map maybe to find the other.
Where do I?
Yeah.
This is the one I just turned on.
Let's hope the red dots aren't enemies.
Oh God! Don't say that.
Hopefully it's like generators. Okay, yeah, I think they are.
Oh shit! Of course. I fucking knew it. What do I do? What do I do? What do I
Use the
do?
flashlight. I think you can use the flashlight from the tutorial. There's nothing there.
You can see better now.
Yeah, he's hiding. He's so well hidden. You know what? I'm gonna face my fears. What are you gonna do? Oh, you're angry. You're very angry.
Just go say hi.
I don't. You're not looking nice. That's not a good.
Does it walk to you if you
Oh.
turn off the light?
Oh, and now, yeah, I'm gonna die.
I think if we close the phone and open it again, it has battery.
No, he's dead. He's coming over. I can already tell. Oh, is it going down? Kind of. I can tell. I'm so bad with horror games. Why did I? Why was I the one picked for this one? Holy, is it still? I can't tell. I'm afraid to come out now.
Go, come on. You're a brave
Yeah,
man.
I don't give a shit. Oh, okay. So fair enough.
Well,
Good
I
job.
really like the others. Yeah.
I was the worst choice for this one.
Yeah, well, I'm
It's
sorry.
fine. I did one.
Yeah, you did do one. And you did interact. with the
1/6 success rate.
game. Do any of
Good
you
enough.
want to try? Or do we go to the multiplayer one?
I can try a bit, yeah.
Anyone who's not as
Gonna
much
make
of a
the
wuss as
tutorial
I
again.
am.
I don't know if I'm going to be a bit better
Check the
than...
instructions first.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
So scroll to open.
Okay.
Instruction.
Oh, okay, so the lights
Yeah,
stand them
it
out.
stands
so,
them
okay.
out, so.
And the generator, okay.
That didn't really seem.
Okay.
It still seems scary as hell.
Okay. So. Okay. So is it always the same map?
The map is the same, but where you spawn and the generators and the enemies are
It's randomly. Okay, okay, that's
Okay.
nice. That's nice. So as
So the dots are going to be
replayability.
different
Yeah.
if we look at the map.
And do we lose battery when you use other apps? The phone, or the phone? Okay, I thought it was just the lantern. So, okay.
The heartbeat is stressful.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Jesus. See, I'm not even playing in I Got Jokes. Yeah, what the heck?
Is he going?
Oh, you can
Also, if you
kill
pointed,
them. That's
he
not
was
the stun.
hiding. He was hiding behind the corner, so he wasn't getting fully hit with the light. That.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Fucking
Skill
program.
issue.
Random
You can
selfie.
rest for a bit. It's very oddly placed.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that did not look like. It looked like a monster from far away.
Oh, the phone charges, or was it the generators
think
that give it?
with
Yeah,
that generator.
Like it resets your charge, I guess.
I think the team had a very good choice of investing on audio, because games that are
Oh, yeah,
horror games
ambiance
need
is
this, need this, and this
spot
is
on.
really cool. And I really like the animations of beads, basically drawn up.
Yeah. Very hand drawn and like sketchy.
Yeah.
Does contribute to like
Really like there's slight drones from time to time, just like whizzing by. Just like scary as hell for me, but I imagine if you're a fan of horror games, you would enjoy it a lot.
Have you like played any horror game that you enjoyed?
You think? I mean, I tried playing Outlast. Oh Jesus.
Outlast is a brave choice.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but what I played I liked until I got way too scared to continue.
Fair. And you do? Have you played like any amount of horror games?
Any amount, yes.
So like, are you a
I'm not a huge
fan?
fan.
Any like you remember particularly?
So
that
we
you
can
like?
hear his breath.
Let's see.
Dying Light, for instance.
Dying Light. That's cool.
That kind of horror game I think I would have a better time with, since I know there's people on the other side. And it's not just the computer trying to kill me.
And he's running out of breath too.
Does he run out of breath?
I don't know. He's breathing heavily.
I think that's
I
called
think he's
dying.
scared. I think he's scared.
Yeah, maybe you're close to some monster. I do really like the design of the monster too, with like the antenna sticking out.
Oh, here he is.
Do it.
5, 4, 3. Oh god.
Saved. You're really low.
But I'm going to find the.
Hopefully.
Almost there.
Shit. Oh, no, it was just a screen.
Hopefully they don't respawn.
Oh well.
It was a really well timed
timing.
comment. So I just have to find the
Just
generator.
run. Do it. Point the light.
Wait.
Nice.
Make a good team when you're not playing.
I'm not as scared because I'm not the one who's gonna die.
So you're missing.
Um,
Do you want to end it here?
Production is
yeah,
still
I
in
think
the
we
sewage.
can play like the Kubes game for a bit. That's the last one we have to showcase, and that one is multiplayer. So, a very cool game. This one.
Good job to the developers.
Yeah, very good. Ambiance was spot on.
Yeah, very good animation.
Let's play Roll Racers. I think this is the last one.
Can we play it now?
Yes, you can. It's
Uh,
multiplayer.
Change.
Right?
You want to play on the keyboard?
I can, yeah.
You're responsible with pressing space, by the way, because there's.
Toilet paper. We go back to
Smash card.
the Smash Card.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
please
hold
don't
on.
destroy the.
Let's so João can see too.
Okay, so
Can you
do I
see?
press A?
What should I press?
Okay.
Are we?
I think R2 is to accelerate, L2 is to go back, and
That
the-
doesn't help him much.
Oh, I don't know. Yours might be just.
Who am I?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Tell who the heck I am.
Okay, I'm the red.
Red is speeding ahead. I don't know who's red.
I'm red. I think I'm red.
Oh, the two other racers have joined.
I'm.
The top right.
Oh, wait, no.
You're top right, Q?
Yeah. So there's
So
a,
you're bottom right, I think.
there's a paper all around. Is that it?
I think you have to go
can't
get the
see
toilet
shit.
paper at the end.
Okay, I am.
Okay, we have pink speeding ahead now.
Is there a speed limit in this world? I guess.
Who's green? Are you green?
I'm not sure.
Press Alt L2.
L2?
I don't know who you are.
Am I even playing alone?
Oh, someone picked up. Pink has picked up the toilet paper. I think-
Thank you.
Oh, he stole the toilet paper.
Oh, what?
Do you have
I'm not doing anything
Oh, you're
and this
still
one's
there.
moving. So that's not me.
Really? Are you playing as two?
I'm red. I think I'm red. Yeah,
I think there's someone's playing as two players.
What?
What the hell?
I'm not sure.
Emergent
Like,
gameplay.
let me see. Is this?
Oh, I think I'm playing also with the green one.
So maybe, well, you got to get the little.
Yeah,
brother
I'm
experience,
like
so-
the little brother that gets the disconnected controller so that he thinks he's playing. Like I'm doing so good right now.
No, but no, I'm
So
not
you can steal
controlling the
the toilet
green.
paper from each other,
It's Yoga that's controlling the green. Yeah.
and you have to take it back. I assume.
Also, we need to average out Diogo's scores at the end.
Oh, it's like King of the Hill kind of thing.
You wanna try?
Please, do not
Take it back.
I
Oh,
guess
right.
whoever
Okay.
gets the toilet paper for the longest wins.
Do I just hit the guy or
So
something?
you have to take the toilet paper back onto the start. Damn.
Who's a physics programmer on this shit? I cannot complain.
Oh, that's
about
not a
the
good.
boost.
Can I? I still.
use the ramp, no?
Fuck it. No. Fuck that. Off road.
Not a crash, not a crash.
Got me
Did
worried
you
for
win?
a sec.
I think so. Yeah.
Surely.
Well,
Yeah, look, he's controlling both.
So I won
Well,
and I lost at the same time.
Yes.
I guess
So
you
nobody
lost, yeah.
Yeah, it was a tie. Surely.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
All right.
I'm enjoying.
Well, at least it works better than the other time we tried.
It's working fine now. Oh
Yeah.
god. A little bit of lag.
I think we are done, right?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any last notes you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to shout out? Any games you have coming out in Arcadium?
Quite some of them. But I would like to give a. I think. How to say it? Like. I'm well lost for words. I would like to say that to everybody that's in JT that at least like being in it like for the past 3-4 years and then seeing things moving on with other generations and other game developers, I think is really inspiring for us that already are working, and I think you're all doing a great job because it's really interesting, at least for my part. I can speak for Diogo or for João.
I disagree.
Okay. But then at least when you try to make something good and then you lend it on, you pass it on to the next generation and hope for the best because you know like no longer have that responsibility, and you have some love for this group. I think Diogo certainly has even more because he
Disagree.
started
Disagree
with
again.
Manel and a lot of other guys. And I think it's really good to see that we're still on the right place. There's still a lot of love for games. There's still a lot of cool games being made. Kubus already has some games, so this is really
A lot of games.
really good. And yeah, I think people should continue doing this at GDT, and you're all on a good path.
Would you?
I mean, I can add just a few words. Obviously, like, I don't have the perspective of Diogo or Andre being like a founder. I joined fairly early on, but it's like different. I didn't exactly pass the torch, as you would say, but seeing that there's like a lot of little drones roaming around. That's probably not the best phrasing, but I'm gonna roll with it. Yeah, like also just seeing this space. Like I remember when we started, we didn't even have like our own space we could store stuff in. We were sharing basically resources with the Lab Jogos.
And we started remotely, so
Yes, yeah. GDT started during COVID, so at first it was just basically a Discord server, glorified Discord server, and like seeing all of the people here and all of the projects that have spawned since, and the projects that were already either starting or like in development at the time, and now seeing the heights that they have reached, like Kubo's being a great example. I remember it just being like a couple cubes on screen, and now it's like a full-fledged racing game with a proprietary engine.
That I won.
Yes, that you won. Congrats. Like that does give me a lot of hope, and
like it sincerely it fills me with joy seeing people still going and making projects like this and being passionate about games to the point that events like this can be a thing.
And Diogo, is there any note you'd like to leave to the community too?
Not really. Like they already said everything. The fact that you're still here and the group is growing, and I don't know half of the faces here. It's a good sign.
You disagree with everything, though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Since the start.
Yes, of course.
We actually, GDT was born at a global game jam back in 2020. It was still in a physical venue, and we did a multiplayer AR game, COVID. It was the second game of GDT. The first one was RG Builders, some odd name. We were not very good at branding. But yeah, like everything is going well. It's I've been following the progress of the group as well and helping in any fashion possible. But in the last year, you showcase tons of games. You release multiple games. The snowball effect is happening, and do your job, and the industry will grow as well. Like either with your own studios, either with your own projects as an employee, however, just keep going.
Yeah, it's also been very pleasant for me to have all of you here, because I've heard your names thrown around as these mystical figures on the mountain. but you all have contributed to the community in some way. That your name is, I guess I'd like to say that all your names are imprinted in GDT's history in some way. I've heard your names that I didn't know. Like Diogo, I've heard you a million times. Like I don't know.
Oh, that's Diogo, not you.
Nice to
And
meet
you, Andre, you not so much. I imagine you have more to do with movies, but yeah, it's been really nice to have you all here, and thank you for coming another year to Coffee and Jam, Coffee and Games now. But yeah, I think that's all. We'll be closing stream now.
And thanks to the production.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks to production. Do you guys want to show up? Martin and Pedro, you want to say hi to the people at home?
Just say hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's production. They're behind the cameras.
You deserve some praise.
Yeah, they
Come
didn't
on.
make this possible. So
You
yeah.
We're just sitting here talking
There
our
are
asses off.
35 people behind the camera. This
Yeah.
full production team.
But yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you next year, everyone. No? Sorry?
The awards.
Oh, the awards.
Yeah, the
Sorry, I
awards.
wasn't.
The whole point.
We'll
So-
see you in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see you in 10 minutes. Awards. Sorry, don't leave yet. I wasn't pre- Okay, so now we are on to the award ceremony. These were the judges, and they have decided for the best game of the best gameplay, the best visuals. Okay, you can go ahead and go. I mean, there will be 4 prizes, so if you want to start, you can go ahead.
So we have discussed it a lot, like 3 hours and such, and now we're going to announce that the gameplay for the best gameplay of the Coffee Jam 2025 is Black Stars.
In terms of the best visual game, we decided on Blackout.
In terms of team, the best team goes to Roach's Gamble.
And the overall.
And for the overhaul, it's actually a tie between Roach's Gamble and Black Star.
So yeah, that's the prizes. Good work, everyone. Every single team, even those who didn't get a prize, did an amazing job. This year's games were really strong. We really liked, I think, most of them. I think they agreed. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for participating. And to the operations team, thank you for making this possible, this live stream. Thank you to Executive Production for organizing the jam. And to all of you who also, again, participated and came here to see the event live. So we'll be back next year with the same regularly scheduled Coffee Jam. But this is the closing, I guess, of Coffee Jam 2025. So thank you. We'll see you.